Hello, you are listening to Freedom Words, and I am here with Antony Sammeroff of enrichyourlife.co. And I would just like to ask him some questions regarding improving communication skills and also relationship skills. We'll just freeform and see where we go. So, Anthony, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much for having me on Freedom Words. I'm really excited about this conversation.
Yeah, it's really great to connect with you. There are six main reasons for people to communicate, and I was wondering if you would be willing to enlighten me.
Right, so one of them is to exchange information, to give or receive information. And another one is to be heard, to vent. I'll start with these two because a lot of conflicts arise when someone doesn't understand why the other person is talking.
Mm.
So if someone's speaking um, to them and someone else comes in as a listener and tries to provide advice or information or starts asking for lots of information, and when the other person really, really needs to be heard and empathized with, then bam, you've got a problem right there.
Mm.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it absolutely sounds familiar. When someone is not really understanding and they kind of jump into a defense and react defensively as opposed to having sort of curiosity or any sort of empathy for the person that is speaking.
Or indeed trying to offer their best advice when the person they're speaking to isn't quite ready to hear advice yet. What they really, really want is to be understood.
Hmm. Yeah, they want validation and empathy, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Another reason why we communicate is to give and gain or to keep respect. Both, whenever you're speaking, the other person is getting a sense of whether you respect them or not by the way that you communicate. And obviously, whether you respect yourself or not, although a lot of that escapes under the radar and doesn't catch everyone's attention,
Mm.
you'll still be giving off subtle hints to that. And obviously, how much you respect yourself and how much you respect the other person is going to have an effect on the outcome of the interaction.
Hmm.
A fourth reason why people communicate is to cause action or to encourage change in the situation. So that could be as simple as asking for someone to shut the front door or to readdress the way that you each communicate in your relationship. A fifth one is to avoid discomfort or pain, and that can be psychological, or it can even be physical. You know, you jump around and go ow 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 ow, ow and feels strangely comforting.
Hmm.
But you know, a lot of people are very uncomfortable being on their own, very uncomfortable with silence, and that can be an indication to us that there's something that's coming up inside that we're we're not very comfortable with, and might get some comfort from communicating.
Oh.
A sixth way, which is very much related to that one, is to cure boredom. You might be a little bit bored, and communicating is better than doing on your own.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, that's very insightful for me as far as going forward and kind of studying my motives. Why am I communicating right now? Where does this fall in within these six reasons? And is this exactly how I want to be communicating myself right now? Is this a motive that's healthy to me, or should I re-examine this and pull back and retool and have a different approach?
Very good. Yes. The reason why you're communicating may be unknown to you, but if it becomes known to you, that's useful information. Are you speaking because you don't feel like the person you're speaking to is giving you enough respect? Are you speaking because you want to be heard rather than you want some information? If you're aware of that, that can help you a lot. I've had a couple of interactions where someone's been very keen to give me advice, but because I know what I really want is some empathy and understanding and an opportunity to look at the problem by speaking about it before then getting some feedback. And I can go, just a second, I know you're trying to help, and I really, really appreciate that, but at the moment I'd just like to be able to get all of this out, and then maybe we can discuss approach. And, you know, in my experience, people love to help,
Hmm.
broadly speaking.
Hmm.
And sometimes they're doing what they're doing because they think that's the best way to help you as a friend or a partner or an associate. If you can give them good information on the kind of help you'd like, then you're helping them do a better job of being a friend or associate to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I will definitely be listening this over and kind of incorporating this. It's really wonderful to get further insight on these 6 reasons for people communicating